All right, here we go with objective 16, which is solving these linear inequalities, but now with decimals. This isn't so much a new objective, but it's really just an extension of the previous objective, which was solving linear inequalities. So it's quite similar. We're just going to add on to what we know. In order to solve these inequalities with decimals, we're going to solve them just like as if they were integers. So solve them just like as if they were integers. So just like how we have in the past. So as a reminder, when we're solving with integers, if you multiply or divide by a negative, on both sides, then you have to flip the inequality. And put exclamation marks, put stars. Very important. If you multiply or divide by a negative on both sides, then you have to flip the inequality. And last but not least, just a reminder, if it's less than or greater than, we use an open circle. And if it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, we use a closed circle or shaded circle. All right, so let's go ahead and solve these here. Here we have 0.7x is greater than 3.5. So in order to solve this for x, we first divide by 0.7. Now, is 0.7 positive or negative? It's positive, so we don't have to worry about flipping the inequality. We're going to need our calculator. So we have x is greater than, and then let's use our calculator, 3.5 divided by 0.7 gives us 5. Now on your calculator, it'll say 5 point. Just know that this is 5. Okay, so x is greater than 5. In order to graph this, the variable's on the left-hand side, so we're good there. We plot 0 in the middle, and then 5 is positive, so that goes on the right-hand side. We're looking at greater than, so we have an open circle. And then using our arrow trick, we're going to draw in our arrow that tells us to shade on the right-hand side, go right. So we're going to shade to the right and draw arrowheads at the end of our shading. All right, next up we have negative 0.6 is less than or equal to 7.2. The first thing that we do here, we've got negative 0.6 times x. A lot of students will add 0.6, right? This is negative 0.6 times x, so we have to divide by negative 0.6. Now, are we dividing by a negative? Yes, we are. So we have to flip the inequality. So instead of less than or equal to, this is going to flip around and it's going to be greater than or equal to. So flip the inequality. And you can put a big note there, flip the inequality. And then let's use our calculator for this. We've got 7.2 divided by negative 0.6. So 7.2 divided by negative 0.6. Let's see if we can get that to focus. All right, gives us negative 12. So we have negative 12. So let's go ahead and graph this. Our variable is on the left-hand side, so we don't have to flip that. That's good. We're going to plot 0. And then negative 12 is negative, so that's going to be on the left-hand side. So negative 12 is here. We're looking at greater than or equal to, so this is going to be a closed circle. And then using our arrow trick, this is greater than or equal to. Drawing in our arrow, this tells us to shade to the right. So we're going to shade on the right-hand side. And we'll draw an arrowhead at the end. All right, so that one's done. Last one we got for today. We've got 5.4 is greater than 1.2x minus 0.6. Reverse PEMDAS tells us we got to deal with that subtraction first. So we're going to add 0.6 to both sides. So this cancels. On the right-hand side, we have 1.2x. We didn't multiply or divide by a negative, so the inequality stays. So we have greater than or equal to. And then let's use our calculator just to confirm we have 5.4 plus 0.6 gives us 6. And then one more step. In order to get x by itself, we divide by 1.2. So then we have x, we've got this quantity is greater than or equal to x. So let's go ahead and calculate that. 6 divided by 1.2. Oops, I hit plus. 6 divided by 1.2 is 5. All right, so we have 5 is greater than or equal to x. Now, in order to graph this, our variable's on the right-hand side, so we got to flip this. So I'm going to go ahead and write that flip to graph. In order to flip this, right, x moves from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. Our inequality also flips. So now we're looking at less than or equal to. And then our 5 flips from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So everything flips. So now our variable is on the left-hand side, so we can graph. So we plot 0 and our number 5. Well, 5 is positive. That's going to be on the right-hand side. We're looking at less than or equal to, so this is a closed circle. And then using our arrow trick, less than or equal to, we're going to draw in our arrow, tells us shade to the left. So we're going to shade to the left. And we draw in our arrow. All right. So really, this isn't all that different. Now we're just adding in decimals. Again, you just treat them the same as though they were integers. All right, this is objective 16. Have a great day, everyone.